Hi, everyone. I'm Sarah, for those of you who don't know me. And for those of you who do, I miss you lots and wish that I could be there with you all in person today. So, for those of you who don't know, I recently moved to Burlington, Vermont a little over a year ago to be with my partner, Jeff. But I've been a member of Hillside for about a decade now. So, I was excited to get the invitation to share today a little bit about what Hillside means to me and how I came to be involved with this wonderful and quirky, strange, loving community. So I found Hillside what I consider to be by accident, although I don't believe at this point in my life in accidents or coincidences. But I was living in Jamaica Plain at the time, and my cousin was living down the street from Hillside on Woods Ave. She and her husband were going to be doing a bit of traveling and asked if I would dog sit and house sit for them while they were away. So I agreed and stayed in their cozy little apartment in Somerville. And as I was walking the dog one day, I remember seeing the church and it just stood out and kind of popped out. I remember the turquoise, that teal turquoise color of the doors and seeing rainbow flags and thinking like, "Oh, it looks like a very fun, warm, welcoming little church," and even had the thought like, oh, maybe I will attend service on Sunday. And then remember kind of laughing at myself because I grew up Roman Catholic, and somewhere along the line, probably around confirmation, somewhere in high school, I remember making almost like a solemn oath to myself that I was done with the church and never wanted to step foot inside of a church again unless it was for a funeral or a baptism or just something, you know, mandatory or important that I had to attend, but I was pretty adamantly against organized religion and felt a lot of trauma and shame and complications with God and my relationship with divinity from growing up Roman Catholic. So when I had that thought of like, oh, maybe I'll attend service on Sunday and see what it's like, I just immediately brushed it off like, no, 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 like that would be weird and wrong. So went back home to the apartment, hung out with the dog, made dinner. And then I think it was Sunday morning taking another walk with the dog. It was early. The church, again, it really stood out to me. And that teal color, the warmth, the welcoming vibes, even just from the outside, and I saw that I think service started at like 10 or 10:30. It was early in the morning. So I was like, you know what? Like it. Like I'm going to try it and just see what happens. And I remember thinking like the worst thing that happens is that I walk into this building and the whole thing just goes up in flames, And like if it's absolutely horrible, I can just turn around and leave. It'll be okay. So I don't remember much of the actual service. I don't remember what Tom spoke specifically about in his sermon, but I do remember feeling incredibly moved. And I don't know really what kind of came over me, but I remember I just started crying during the sermon and felt extremely just inspired, touched, held, and just the feeling that I always imagined when I was little of what I wanted to feel when I went to a place of religious or spiritual worship or celebration. And that's not anything I felt when I was younger. I remember always feeling that church was something mandatory, something forced upon me, something that I didn't really understand and had a very complicated relationship with. So when I felt this feeling of warmth and inspiration and openness, expansiveness, it caught me off guard, and I think that's why I started crying, and I kind of kept to myself and didn't want to make a big scene about it. I remember that Tom came up to me at the end of the service and he was like, "Oh, hey, like, Tom, if you ever need to talk about anything," And I was just like, nope, and just closed down, shut off, ran out of the church and head back to dog sit and take care of my cousin's place. They came home from their vacation. I went back to my little abode in Jamaica Plain. And the next week, I remember on Sunday morning, I was thinking to myself, like, huh, that was really nice last weekend. I think I want to go back and see what happens if I go back. And I did. And again, just felt extremely inspired, extremely connected to the service and to Tom's words and what he was. Sorry, my dog sees a squirrel. That's a squirrel, a squirrel bark. And yeah, just again felt very moved by the service and very extremely moved by Tom's sermon. Um, It was a while before I started actually connecting with people. I would say at that point in my life, and still a little bit today, I still kind of struggle with feelings of social anxiety and just feeling a sense of like there's not necessarily a place for me, right? It was always kind of a struggle for me to get involved with community and to commit myself to community because I always felt like there was a part of me that just didn't feel like I ever belonged. So when coffee hour was after service, I always made sure that I left way before I could get roped into coffee hour stuff and did my best just to like be quiet and not really talk to anybody, avoid getting too close or anything. So it was definitely a while before I think I first appeared at coffee hour. And I remember just braving it. And when I eventually did actually start connecting with the people of Hillside, I was like, oh, this actually isn't scary at all. This is actually wonderful and felt like I found my tribe. I was like, oh, these are other kind of like quirky, strange, cool, spiritual, like not super religious or even into religion at all, but like spiritual, chill people that I felt like I could talk to and really connect with. So even though I live a few hours away up in Vermont now, I still feel like it's important to be there via Zoom whenever I can because I love listening to Tom's sermons. I love seeing people who are still there that I feel a genuine sense of connection with and to, and I'm grateful to still be able to be in contact with a good number of you via email and other ways of connection. And when I am back down in the Somerville area, always try to make an effort to be there in person with all of you because there is something really sacred about just being there together in person. So, gonna wrap up here. I don't know how long that was. I hope that that wasn't too long. Um, Sorry if the squirrel barking was a little disruptive, but yeah, I miss all of you and I hope you're all well. And if you're new to Hillside, like, yay, like it's a really wonderful community. I'm really excited for you that you hopefully have found a good, cozy, comfy home in our wonderful, welcoming little little community here. So, thanks everyone. Hope you have a great day.